But how do the youth American players play in their own league if we're giving away slots to so many foreign players? We still need a why to produce talent. And I hear this come up quite often. And when I want people to get this perspective. You're a young American player. I go back to myself in 1994. If I'm watching the American players, and Kobe Jones is one that inspired me, but I'm not wanting to learn exactly from Eric Winalda or Kobe Jones, and no disrespect to these players because they obviously paved the way for me to come up and play. But I wanted to learn from Ronaldo, phenomenal, Romario, Bebeto. These are the type of players that I was trying to emulate. Then it went to Thierry Henry, and it's the world-class players, the best players to play the game. If they're coming into our league and they're still producing, i.e. Robbie Keane, David Villa, Thierry Henry, when they're playing at such a high level, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you can only get inspired to learn and watch them. And in training, if you're a young player in that academy, you get to go on the pitch and have a few words with them and see how they move and learn from them. They're only raising the profile and the training methods, the expectations at the club for the youth coaches to develop talent. That only helps. That doesn't take away spots. That produces more talent and more quality of the talent. So it's quality over quantity. That's what we should be focused on. If we have players like Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or an Mbappe in the future that come to MLS and they still have what it takes to succeed, stand up and clap. Be appreciative of this moment. Don't say we don't want foreigners to come here and take our American spots. That's not how you have to look at it. You look at it as if these players are coming here to put more money into the league, to put more spotlight into the league, so more youth can go overseas and have that opportunity to play in a Champions League, to have that opportunity to play against top talent every single day, where you are graded on your trainings day to day, not month to month or week to week or year to year. The level of pressure is so high that only helps us in the long run, so that we can win a World Cup and we can have players winning Champions League and not being a rotational player, being starters. That is what will eventually happen when our league continues to get stronger and there's more respect put on that name. So don't worry about foreigners come here. Be more of the, yes, we want more top talent coming to our country to see what we're producing. And then our coaching, our level of coaching only gets
Hey, Chuck,
better.
we're almost at the second commercial break. All I know is that Chuck just talked for 20 minutes, and Coach B said, that's not what I meant. He basically said...
I just want to say that I stopped listening to Chuck after he said he hated Kobe Jones. Kobe Jones,
dude, I had braids when I was young. Highly problematic.
I mean,
looking
once
back
he said
now.
that, I was
but
like,
I had the Kobe braids when I was young.
I can't even listen. I can't even listen to what he has to say when he disparaged Kobe Jones.
I just told you Kobe was my role model. He was the only one that looked like me. But I'm saying, as a player, I wanted to learn from a Ronaldo and a Romario. And
so Kobe, you were really handsome, but you weren't those other guys.
Hey, to be fair, you're saying Ronaldo and Romario, but you're not saying like the seven other players.
Patrick Kluivert,
I know you're saying the players, but some of that argument is like filling in roster spots. But I do think the league is going to create mechanisms, as we've seen in other places, that will protect the academies. But growth happens in the academies for the youth. That's going to get better. We're going to create the volume. Those players do need a pathway. And if there isn't that pathway you're seeing now, they're going to go somewhere else. And they're going to keep continuing. We're seeing Josh Winder go abroad as the first seven-figure player to come out of USL. But I do think there's going to be, with rules, there's going to be changes that there is some protection for young players to have a place in the squad, or at least they got to prove themselves. They're not going to. No one should be getting a free pass.
Of course. What I would add to this part of the conversation, and we've had conversations with younger players before, whether we were playing and we were the older teammate, or now when we do our coaching. I kind of liken it to when Jurgen Klinsmann opened up the player pool. Right, he's going to look for dual nationals and all this stuff, and there was a little bit of an undercurrent that I picked up on of why are we getting these guys in, and
they're not true Americans.
Yeah, that's
that was a big one.
That's from fans and it's from players, right? And I think that players were like, great, it's just another quality player I'm going to have to compete against. My simple answer to that: just play better. If you want this to go away, it ultimately cuts right to what you're saying, Chuck. It's going to help our players play better, to understand what it takes to be a top player, to understand that there's going to be pressures. How do you deal with the ups and downs? How steady can you be when things aren't going your way? And what are you going to do to fight out of your adversity? So yes, you just have to play better. I see kids now, I'm not getting playing time. I'm not doing, then play better. Oh, well, what does that mean? Go work on your goddamn game. You have to be undeniable every time you step on the field. And that's how you're going to get better. And that's how you're going to climb the ladder. And I'm now matching your energy and your enthusiasm, Chuck, because yes, is it going to make it harder? Good. That's how it should be, right? To your point, Heath, nothing should be handed to you. You have to go out there and earn it and earn that respect. And so we're all on the same page.
Yeah, if you want to be the top football in country, guess what? Then you have to have the top foreigners, the top players around the world come to your league, and don't moan and complain about it. Embrace it.
But every league has mechanisms, for the record. It's not like MLS is just going to go full crazy. Premier League has foreign player limits and qualifications for those players to get in, right? It protects domestic jobs. The Scandinavia has a young player rule. Every league in the world has their own. Italy has a non-EU limit and other mechanisms. Like there are limits
Spain
that
too.
will be put in. Yeah, exactly. These limits will be put into place, so it's not just a full overhaul where you go and get, better players for less type of thing, or whatever the reasoning is. It's not like it's just going to open up the floodgates for more. It's going to create more competition and ultimately push our player pool to be better.
And that's going to lead us to where I think we want to go. But yeah, is it going to be hard at times for a lot of the player pool? Yeah, it is. And that's, I think, what we want. That's why we're asking them to go to Europe, right? Because that's the environment where that does exist on a more regular basis. All right, let's talk about the Open Cup. Let's just pivot.
Charles Jones said, Jimmy taking the Lord's name in vain. This podcast is off the chain. We got Tanky with a hammer and sickle as his logo. Like, we are building an interesting audience here. You know what I mean, guys? We need to find Jesus soon.